What can I do when, in ignorance, the Prakriti is not changing, you see. People are saying that you're not changing at all, you're continuing to hurt others, what should I do? Let people repair Ilaben. Why should you be worried into repairing your own self? I want to understand the science. You cannot change your own Prakriti much. The gross Prakriti will not change, but your intention, it has to change through Bhav Prakriti at the intention level, and then through the thoughts and through the intentions, you will not hurt anybody. Then you will be remorseful inside. You do not want to hurt anybody. As long as you're on the path, of not hurting anyone, then you should be fine. You see. So, the people will continue to tell you negative things about you, but as long as you know that you are on the right path of correcting your violent intent and that you do not want to hurt anyone, then you are fine. But when other people tell, but there are some very such sticky files, I have a real problem. So let's leave the sticky files alone right now, you see. He says, no, my sticky files say all kinds of negative things about me. She says, no, let it happen, let it be. You see, you let them find faults with you, and that way it is easy because then you know what the faults are, and they can tackle those faults within you. You should not be in the suffering mode at all. But the other person is so sticky, and the way he will speak, that it will be so hurtful, and therefore all the egos will flash, and therefore I react too. Then it bothers me so much because he is so negative about me. No, you continue doing Pratikraman because that is all. Oh, Dada Bhagwan, give me the energy to settle this file with equanimity. I feel like I've taken this Gnan, but how come there is no change in me at all? Because of my Prakriti, everybody around is also upset. So what should I do? Don't be too worried. You see, before a lot of people were not coming, but because this made me sit on this chair, people say, oh, Deepak has become great, so let us all follow him now. Supposing I'm going to service and satsang, serving others, I feel like other people also should see my example and come to serve. You see, no, let the field stock within you decrease before you expect all that to happen. Please bless me, please bless me. Supposing a tree has got a diameter of 3 feet, every day you are using your saw to cut it. When do you think it will cut? But one day it will end up getting cut, will it not? One day, and all of a sudden the whole big tree will fall over, you see. So you should not be too worried that, when will it get cut, when will it get cut. Continue your Purusharth. Dada, grant me the energy to remain in the 5 Agnas only. Next one. Jai Sachidanand. If we understand the Prakriti and recognize it after Gnan, on page 36 it has been written we feel as if it should there be in the conduct also. Should there not be an improvement in the conduct of the Prakriti also? You see, the conduct of the Prakriti is different compared to your awakened awareness, and in your awakened awareness, and the Prakriti will remain in Prakriti and the Jagruti will remain in Jagruti. Jagruti means awakened awareness as the Amapura, the pure soul. And you see, depending on the result, and you will be aware that depending on how you had filled it in the previous life, that is how it will unfold in this life. You do not need to be too concerned about it. You see, whatever. And then once it gets stabilizes, then you say, now without the exception of the Prakriti will take its toll on you. In other words, it will make you do certain things. But once it stabilizes, then you can focus more on the pure soul. And with the exception of the pure experience of the pure soul, I do not want anything in this world. So it will allow you to move in the direction of the soul. But however, whatever has been filled in the Prakruti with reference to certain businesses, certain other things, interactions, etc., that is going to continue to unfold, and you need to remain separate from it. And we have already discussed how this needs to be done. Next one, Rekha Surat. I put a lot of brakes on the Prakruti, and then I also scold it a lot, and I criticizes a lot. And she's very willful. When she says, I want to, when I've decided I want to read only, then I make others read too. This is, don't give too much importance about what you have decided. You see, let it go. Don't give it any importance. You see, just remain in your natural state of the Prakruti. Can I ask the next question? No, not second question. Next one. Jai Sachidanand. Hasmuch in Rajkot. To see the pure soul in the other person, how can I, and what is the effect by seeing the pure soul in the other? When you see the Shuddha, the pure of the other person, the Rainasila, the pure soul of the other person, there is no Ragdvesh, there is no attachment, there is no abhorrence. When you don't see the purity, then the positive or the negative opinions will come in. The positive opinions will cause the attachment, the negative opinions will cause repulsion. There is, he will not have either positive or negative reactions if you see the pure in him, if you see the Shuddh in him, if you see the Rainasila in him. You see? Next one. Next, Praveen Patel. Jai Sachidanand Pujyashri. My name is Bhavna. Dada Bhagwan says in Aptavani about prayers, so we have had different kinds of stock filled. Gansada, Gansidi. In this botla, we have filled different stocks of different directions only. That is the filled stock. We want sex, we want to be willful, we want to be respected, we want to have pleasures, we want to have good food, we want to get good clothes, we want everything good, that is all. You want everything good, you see. And you also want to go to good places, you also want to eat, you want to travel in good cars. You have not left anything alone. You want to enjoy the pleasures in every which way, from every hole possible, every which way, in every direction possible. And so now you have to say, I do not want anything with reference to, will you please give me, Pratavidhi is the important thing. Grant me the energy. The next one. Jai Sachidan. I got my answer. Good. Jagruti Patel, I got my answer. Next one. Sudha Ahmedabad. Jai Sachidanand. Praveen Valsad. One dances according to the tune of the Prakruti. I want to understand dancing to the tune of the Prakruti. If you become Prakrutimai, if you become the Prakruti, if you become absorbed as Nada or Ruva, then you will be, the Prakruti will control you and will make you dance along wherever she goes. However, if you remain separate from Prakruti, you will become a god. You see, I am a thief is called Prakruti. You are not still. I am a big donator. I am a big benefactor to others. That is also Prakruti. But he says, neither I am giving charity nor I am the stealer. Then you will end up being a god. That is all. You could understand. The stealer is stealing. The non-stealer is only saying him. The one who is giving donations, he is giving donations. I am simply the knower of that one who is giving the donation. The Prakruti has filled up the charity and the stealing from a previous life. Next one. Gita Vagodia. When it says, when I understand the Prakruti completely, then I can change it. Yeah, you can say, as soon as you know that a mistake is mistake, then you can begin to become free from it by doing Pratikraman and Pratyakyan. So therefore the faulty part will get washed off through Pratikraman, you see. And then you will ultimately attain the level of Dada Bhagwan. So it is possible, yes. Mansi Shah is the next one. Smita, Ahmedabad. I have a big habit of giving advice to others and unnecessary advice to others. Let only give slowly, proceed slowly. Only when they ask, give the advice. If they ask you the advice, then give. Does it help them? No, no, it doesn't help them. So then when if they ask for advice, say, listen, I don't understand how to give advice. Well, you just listen to this. You take this, read this book of Dada, any of these 4 basic books of Dada, give it to them. That is all. If you have any, come to satsang. You see, don't don't you do you think it's a good thing to treat your own self, or it is better to go to the doctor? Because are you the doctor of this? No. So just tell your friend that, listen, I don't know the answers. I have some books. Maybe the books will help you. And if you give the wrong advice and his wrong medicine and he gets disease, then you got a problem. Now, next one. Malti, yesterday you had said that. Can you please tell us that to sometimes to criticize the Prakruti, it is some kind of a consolation. Oh, I cannot eat, I cannot walk. It's you take a little bit of consolation from the body. You see people leave you alone, but people kind of give you extra attention. Then they give you a little bit of extra attention, and therefore your pride is being fed by others. When you say, oh, I cannot do, people will pay attention to you. You see, this is the underlying hunger for pride. Sometimes she doesn't say it. And to criticize the Prakruti, Vagovavi, is in 2 ways. If Prakruti believes that I am very good, I am superior, I am better than others, I am willful, I am smart, at that time you need to really bring her down or it down with a little bit of criticism. But if the ego is going very down, then you can bring it down. But that is constructive criticism, however. But when go to self-criticism means, oh, I'm so tired of this knee, it doesn't help me at all to walk. I'm so tired of this body part, I'm so tired of my ability to think, I can't think even. So you're kind of putting yourself down, you're criticizing so there is 2 ways. You see, when the ego is inflated, then you put a little a pinprick in the balloon of the ego to bring it down to normality. That is helpful to you. Sometimes in Samayik, I see certain mistakes of Prakruti. At that time, it feels good, but later on the time again, it overwhelms me, and then I feel a lot of weight of all this. Is this part of the? No, bojo, weight is not supposed to be there when you're looking at Prakruti. You see, well, bojo comes because you are overwhelmed by the sense. How when I get rid of all of this? You don't need to get rid of any junk in your Prakruti. All you need to do is to be aware that it exists there and that it belongs to the non-self complex, doesn't belong to you. And to the extent that it hurts anyone else, then make her do pratikraman. That is all. You do not need to carry unnecessary weight. Oh, because there is subtle sense of doership that I have to get rid of it, and that is why there is a sense of load or bojo, B-O-J-O, bojo. Bojo, the weight is associated with doership, you see, so don't go there at all. So it is going to do it is going to play its part. At the time of expressing the mistakes, you need to say that it is looking for some kind of, it is searching some things, you see. So if it is expressing its complaints and mistakes naturally, then let it happen. Ramesh Virmani, 3 more being announced. Namaskar. There are 2 types of Prakruti, causal Prakruti and effect Prakruti. It is said that, and you see, so the construction happens according to knowledge, and then through evidences, this effect happens. Ego is Prakruti only, and you see when Prakruti rises due to the doership of the ego, So the ego is the main thing in the rise of Prakruti. When ego is the cause of Prakruti, and the self is without attachment and abhorrence, when Prakruti is under the effects of Prakruti and ego, and I do not understand that the Prakruti is without Ragdvesh, you see. It is, I do not understand that it is, they are not living Ragdvesh, they are not the living Kashais, they are the dying Kashais in discharge. We are trying to tackle, see, the living Kashais are with the ego, and that ego has gone away from the people who have taken the Gnan Vidhi. Now it is the dying Kashais, the anger, pride, deceit, and greed that are happening in discharge, but they still bother you and bothers are there around you, and therefore you need to be aware of them. You see? You see, in ignorance there is attachment, you see, and there is attachment, you see, and it is called rag. In ignorance it is called rag, whereas in awakened state it is only called like. There is no rag, there is no attachment anymore for the one, because the ego isn't there to attach, you see. Attraction is there, you see. The one with the attraction is now having the attraction, but it is not attachment. There is a difference between attraction, because the one who is attracted is the discharging attachment. That is all. There is no true attachment in there, you see. So, in the morning I have the intentions of going to Mahavidya, and I want to keep it separate. But as the day proceeds, then I become Tanmayakar and absorbed in the Prakruti only. And therefore I become the Prakruti, and then I enter into doership. I want to do this and I want to do that, and I'm constantly in the mode of doership only. So how can I become free from it? Because in the morning I'm free from it. The way the Prakriti was bound, that is how it is going to unfold in discharge. When you are called, you should say that it is a file. I want to settle with the file with equanimity. Come on, the full lunch is ready. Don't, you should know that this is Prakriti is in. You see, now therefore, it's time for the Prakriti to go into the kitchen. Now this is let the Prakriti be in the kitchen. Then after the lunch is over, then you see, then instead of sitting and doing negative things and negative talk, that tells the Prakriti to engage in where she has finish. You see, so remain separate from the Prakriti by seeing what the Prakriti is doing, you see. And you see, so you see, when you leave the office, when you enter the office, you turn on the light switch, you do all the work on, and then then when you leave the office, you turn off the switch of the light. Therefore, the light switch is the light of awareness of who I am. Now the Prakriti is doing this in the kitchen, then Prakriti is doing in the living room, Prakriti is doing this in the bedroom, etc. That's all. So there is the awareness remains continuously, but while she is doing her work in Prakriti, she will continue to be absorbed in what she is doing. Because the Prakriti will remain Tanmayakar in what she is doing, because that is part of the discharge. The Vyavasthit is such, the unfolding evidences are such that she will remain Tanmayakar. But the day it will happen that you do not like anything that is happening, then automatically you will remain separate from it. But right now, there is certain things that are happening that you like, and therefore there is a greater tendency to become absorbed in what is happening, you see. But sooner or later, you will let go of the Prakriti. So when later, 2 hours later, I remember that she was absorbed in this only, and that she was absorbed in doing this only. She got absorbed in the shopping center, etc. And then I have to talk to her and say, see, you didn't realize, and therefore you have to do this. And then I feel a little bit of a load, see. So this is a science. Understand this science only. It is a science that is in operation in you too, you see. Then, Jai Sachidanand, which is Sri Gita. File 1 is not very smart in doing worldly interactions, but after the Gnan, but she does want to remain superior, and she wants to impress others in front of others. Is this, she wants to impress others. This is a disease I know of superiority. Why are you worried about whether it is in the men only? It's just, don't compare yourself with men only. Just see, is this yours in it? You see, this is not your pride. Pride, the comparison leads you into pride only. You see, do not compare yourself with anyone. Whatever stock is there within you, all the market was available in the last life, but you filled this stock in your Prakruti in the last life, and that is what it is coming out, and now we need to settle it. Yes, I always want to appear good in the eyes of public, and therefore, the public will always break it down. So you don't need to do anything about it. But only thing is, do not try to protect it, because it is difficult for you to remove this sense of wanting to appear better in front of the other and superior in front of the other. But you are not superior or better than the other. But even then, it is something that you yourself have believed to be, but so therefore. So you can see these signals and signs within you and divide it through Lagutam Bhav, that who you really are, and don't go there at all and be aware of it. And by seeing it in Prakruti, because of I'm superior. Because if you are superior, then when you see somebody very better than you, then you are in a competitive mode, and then you lose sleep over it, and therefore you backbite her or him, and therefore you try to rise up above her. You see. So if you have negative approaches towards anybody, that means you are in a sense of superiority only. You want to put her down, you want to be superior than her, you want to be better than her. These are all problems of pride within you only. And so cut off your own disease only, and then you will not see the negative in the other person. Next one, Jai Sachidan Pujishri, Rita Patel, Surat. Dada on says on one side, on page 61, he says, on 61 says, the Prakriti has already changed only. You see, the change is already said. I don't know. I do not understand the change. Before the anger that happened before Gnan, and after Gnan, there is a little bit less anger now. Is there a change in the Prakriti, or is it gone? It's gone. Now you're less angry. That means it's gone now. But are you not angry now? But now that it is happening, that is the frozen stock within you, and you are aware that it is going to thaw and it is going to melt and come out. You see, both are part of the filled stock only, are part of the Prakriti only. But the anger hasn't gone away completely, right? Are you in the? Are you totally forgiving for everyone right now? No. And you say, and a greedy one will never become noble and charitable. You see, yes, but you see, the greed will continue only. The Prakriti will continue to appear greedy all the time. But Dada says after this Gnan, Dada, certain causal kashais. You see, greed goes away by 2%. Kapat goes up 15. You see, anger goes by 80%. I-ness goes away by 100%. Awareness is there, it comes in. And then the awareness, there are 4 levels, and in experience there is 2%. Awareness is only 15%, and you see, anger goes away by 80% after the awakening, and pride goes away by 40%. So you see, so a lot of kashayas at the causal level go away, but the results will still remain. So even after the Gnanvidhi, a lot of the kashayas are gone by certain degrees and percentages. The greed goes the least, whereas the anger goes away maximally. You see, and there are varying levels of it, and the deception goes away to the middle level. So there's a different levels. In the fine one, when I'm not able to come to satsang or to service, then the file one Prakruti comes under sense of suffering. That is all. These are these obstructions? Are you upset with other people? I continue to suffer if I cannot come to satsang, and so then settle the file with equanimity. If you cannot go to satsang, you can just recognize that this is ineffective. But you see, always have in your bhav that I want to attend satsang only. The suffering should not be there just because the satsang does not arise for you. Yes. have the right understanding that I'm going to, for the next satsang, I'm going to have a very strong nischay, and whatever files that come in front of me, that I'm going to settle their files, accounts with equanimity, so that they will not remain as obstructions for me. Some people told me that you don't need, you are not needed for service for 2 to 3 days, and therefore I had a sense of suffering. That why don't they need me? Why don't they need me? But now, therefore, now they tell me that I'm not needed at all. I'm not needed at all. Then therefore, then I wanted to run away from it. You see, I don't want to go to satsanga. So I am running around in different modes of Prakruti, that either when I get respected, then I go running for service. When I get disrespected, I don't want to go there. Obviously, understand this is all part of the Prakruti, and built in. Make the adjustments. Therefore, you use this your time, available time, in the best way, and you do not waste your energies in suffering through these kashais that are arising because of it. That is all. Kashais, anger, pride, deceit, and greed. That is all. Yes, I see faults in my mother-in-law because she's constantly bickering and nagging me all day, and I see her at fault. And then later on I say that this is my own account, but I continue to see her at fault, and then I feel very sorry and I feel very regretful that I see her faults. Are you keeping it inside, or are you openly reacting to her through voice? But outside, outward, through. No, but are you burning her through your activity and actions? No, that is very good. So are you containing it within you? Therefore, you can burn it up, and be very grateful to your mother-in-law that she is behaving this way towards you. Is she not the mother of your husband that you love? So is she not? So how can you afford to be negative towards her? She is the mother of the husband that you love. So win her with love. You want to win all files with love only. As many times I have touched her feet also, but she still remains dominant over me and continues to be negative towards me. Continue to do pratikraman. That is the only answer. Are pratikramans happening? Increase the force of pratikraman with her. See her at faults, and read the book of the flawless vision. That is a magnificent book. Leave the book of life without conflict, and listen to the cassettes of Niruma, the VCD cassettes of the mother-in-law, daughter-in-law interactions. That will help you a lot. Next, Jayashree Bavalia. Slowly, because then I have a 12-year-old son who also misbehaves, and all day long he is playing with his cell phone only and not doing anything else. Slowly turn him a little bit. He will improve, no? If you continue to try, then he will improve. Have you improved? If you improve, then the son will improve. You see, your son is your sample only. Then I feel that is my own account. Instead of becoming angry with him, why don't you deal with him with love and with understanding? And please bless me. Yes, I want to remain in five agnas and go to moksha only. Jai Sachidanand Mahatma. Page 62, and Aptavani. Nigrahi kem karishyate. How will you suppress, and what is the nigrah means? How will you control the Prakruti? No, you cannot control the Prakruti. You can only see the Prakruti, and you can observe the Prakruti and see what it is doing and understand it and realize what the Prakruti is all about. That is all you can do. You cannot change it. You cannot suppress it. You cannot control it. Gita Goswami. When Shukla Dhyan happens, then there is no more new karma is happening, and all nijara is happening, all karmas are discharging. But if I am in pure meditation, it's a summer means nothing new is coming in. You see now, in other words, to meeting. Yes, it is good. It is good. It is good if in Samayik I talk to. Can I approach Samayik with internal conversation? Can I do internal conversation in Samayik? Yes. When file number 1 opens this mistakes and I talk to file 1, will it help? And then will that, and then pratikram, pratyakyan, pratnas and prayers happens. This is good. No, no, no. Beyond there is much more. It is good. Yeah, just talk to the person. You can talk to the person and do samayiks of talking with the file number one. You could make, file one number one shows the mistakes and you kind of respond. That is all. Yes. I have negative views in the Samayik about all these judges who give wrong decisions for the politicians, etc. And so, and 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 also in Nepal, so many people got killed. Then I see mistakes of the people who are responsible for it, and I see people when. So, what kind of knowledge did you see? See the Gnan that you saw in Samayik only. That who are you? All kinds in the ocean. There is all kinds of violence that is happening. Large fish is killing smaller fish. The sharks is killing so many fish. You see, and it is killing. Is anybody? There is so many things in so many villages in India. Out of the hundreds of thousands of villages in India, there is all kinds of injustice happening to villages. But we don't understand. But media only catches up only the big items only. But you don't know what is happening all over India, are you? The one who is being killed becomes the killer in the next life. That is how, you see, the killer becomes the killed life after life, and the killed becomes the killer. You see, that is how. This is the court of law only. So that is all. So that is, you don't need to be interfering in that. Be separate from it. No, become with the rag, without rag dvesh, without attachment or abhorrence or aversion. Next one, Ahmedabad. My question is that in the Charan Vidhi, it is written that on page 29 of Gujarati Charan Vidhi, that it says that let me remain in the domain of the self and never enter into the domain of the Parsatta, the domain of the non-self. Will you please explain the Swasatta? Whatever Prakruti is doing, it is called Parsatta. And when you see what Marsha is doing, what Sumitra Ben is doing, that is called Swasatta. Marsha is cooking tea, Marsha is working on the computer. That is, you are now, when you see that, then you are in the domain of the self. But when she is aggressive about I have to do this and I have to do this, that is part of the non-self complex only. It is a part of Sumitra, it is a part of Marcia, it is a part of Daniela. It doesn't belong to you, you see. Swasata means the domain of the self, but Parsata means the doership. Parsata means the doership, to enter into doership. So, supposing when you are in five agnas, you are in Swasatta, the domain of the self, you see. Next one, Sunil Jain, and then Bhanuben Parmar, and then Harsha Trivedi. Sunil Jain is the first one. Yeah. Now Sunil Pujya Deepakbhai wants to do something, but he still has to see the pure soul of the other person and settle the file with equanimity, and then whatever he has learnt in this satsang, that I need to see the Prakruti of the other person. But then do I have to settle? Do I have to accept that this is how my Prakruti is going to interact with the other person? No, no, no. You don't know. Just see how the Prakrutis will unfold. We don't know. Just because he misbehaved with you yesterday doesn't mean that he's going to misbehave with you again. You see. But I know that he's going to behave with me again like this. I understand. I know that Prakruti. No, you should not have such a fixed opinion on him. But allow the space to see what happens. You should not have a prejudiced, entrenched opinion about a person just because he has done it recurrently. If possible, you see, you can adjust. You should not have a prejudiced opinion within you. You should converse with Sunil and say that if somebody just brands you as that you are always like this, will you like it? No. Supposing you became angry, then Willie says, oh, he's a very angry man. He was a very angry man. And they told the whole town, will you like it? So from that, you need to know that you cannot brand the other person as he is, because every human being is continuously under the influence of scientific circumstantial evidences and is constantly changing, and therefore there is no reason for a fixed opinion about him. It is the Vishuddhatma, pure soul, and his filled stock is coming out. Prakruti is continuously changing. Yes, you should have your internal knowledge within you that, because therefore you should just have an internal adjustment that if he really does it 30 times also, at the 31st time also, you should not have you should still go there without a fixed opinion, because you don't know what may have. Your own prejudices and opinions are binding you only, not the other person, you see, so you don't need to go there at all with that view. Next one. Jamnagar Harsha, Jai Sachidanand. My question is that I understand all of these talks that are happening here in this satsang, but I wonder, but I am fearful that will there be a kind of a veil over my knowledge, my future knowledge. All of these people are asking such. I want to ask questions, but I feel, but I will not know how to ask the questions. I will not know what I will have to ask. I don't know how to say. I do not understand everything that is happening here. So my question is, I have the fear of asking question. In future, will I have any kind of veil over my knowledge? It is like this. Do not, when other question, when is, why don't you keep it that way, that if the answers are being given to somebody else, but you yourself are getting the answers, that it means you are getting the solutions. That means never become the questioner, the ego. Don't never assume the ego of the questioner, because if you just listen to the answers, there is no ego, and whatever answers are need to be there from the Gnani are happening to you within. And therefore, I do not understand complex questions, and I do not understand complex words, but I understand the science, and I understand the science that it is magnificent. And in these 4 days, there is fantastic things happening. So I'm very, 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 very. This is my first Parayan, and I'm extremely grateful. I'm very, very grateful and very happy to be present here. Very good. Next one. Next is Simash Parmar, Paliban Parmar. I have sent the question. Shall I read it? Why don't you read it? Prakruti is Vitrag. But even then it is searching for some kind of dependence. Because dependency causes expectations, and it expects something out of somebody else and file 1 too. And then there is suffering because of the expectations. I want to become absolutely independent. From the dependency, I want to become independent. Find out where the Prakriti is taking dependency, and through whom and why and what kind of expectations. Find out where she is expecting and taking dependency, and that is a field stock, but don't come under the suffering. It is what kind of expectations does it sit, and on whom is she expecting something from. You see, first of all, remove I do not want to have any expectancy from anybody. I want to keep file 1 separate and talk to file 1 and say, why are you expecting something out of him? Because then if the wrong thing happens, then you will have negative reactions. Therefore, stop expecting anything out of him or out of her. I do not like it. Sometimes, you expect something out of somebody, yes, you take the natural support of somebody, from people around your home. Avlamban and Niralam, is a very special personal thing, internal only. It has got nothing to do with your movement and your living together with people in close family, you see. Now, you see, he does not give me any money because he doesn't give me any money, because if he gives me money to spend, then I will not. Nobody gives me any money. You see, because of greed, they come to get money from me. You see, because it's their greed, they come to get money from me, and therefore, and so then I say, I have my own sons and my daughter-in-laws, and so they will give me the money. But what? How do I? But and then I say that I set the Gnan that this is my moha, this is my illusion. Again, so I go back and forth between this is my moha, this is my illusory attachment, and then again go back, I go to the greed. And then it says all of it. So I really do not want anything except for moksha, and I do not want anything, but I get attached in the illusory attachment only. Now shall we give a chance to somebody else to speak? Next one, Sangeeta Goyani. See, all right, next one. Seema Shah. By seeing the soul of the other person as faulty, then what do I do? When I see the pure soul of the other person as at fault, then how can I see the other person as flawless? The simple thing is, Prakruti is separate from the pure soul of the other person. You cannot say, it is the Prakruti is that it is fault. When Chetan is absolutely pure, you do not need to, you never see the pure soul of the other person as at fault, because the pure soul by nature cannot be seen at fault at all. It is the Prakruti, the non-self complex, the file one, that is seen at fault, you see. So keep them separate, and with the Shuddhatma is always separate from the interacting Prakruti and the file. And therefore, in the same way, I am separate from this file of Seema. When wrong speech comes out, and then there is a lot of pain. You see, if I'm in a lot of pain, then you have to make her do pratikraman. That is all. I'm aware. Can you not do pratikraman? Yes. That is all. What else can you do? And the next one, Deepakbhai is smiling. What else can you do? Do pratikraman. Sangeeta Goyani. Sangeeta has a very huge file of rag, attachment, love. In worldly interaction, that is fine. That is fine. There is a lot of rag with all the files in worldly interaction. But I want everybody to be, but with the closest files, there is a heavy stickiness. Externally, she appears good, but inside, there is a lot of stickiness with them. There is a lot of opinions. And Prakruti is very easy with. So what are you going to do now? You already know what is happening. So then, what do I need to tell you? Now, what are you going to do when don't you know what to do when she gives opinions? When you see the faults of others, don't you know what to do? But she doesn't have any time to do. You can do it later on. And then when there's a lot of rag, and then when the people give me respect, then when the people at home, they're melting your pride, but then when they melt your pride through negativity, then you should accept it. No, let's leave it alone. Can I express my dream, because I saw you and Niruma in dream? So that means, now let's stop dream. We are not going to go into dreams only. You see, if somebody comes into your dream like Niruma, then you're blessed. That's all. Let's stop it now. We're not going to talk about dreams anymore. There's no time for dreams here. You see, let us now. Next one. How can I keep the body in discipline? Just see what's happening. Don't try to change the body's discipline anymore. One is the only discipline you should have is that I do not want to hurt anyone, and I want to follow the agnas of Dada. That's all. Just remain natural. See what happens. That is all you need to do. Are you not coming here before 9:30 in the morning? And then don't you come here before 4:30? So are you not in niyam? That's fine. But I cannot be in discipline at home. Because it is your home, right? You can eat and sleep and drink whenever it is you need to, right? But don't you get up in the morning at time? Yes. So yes, there is normal. You don't stay awake all night and then sleep in the daytime, do you? The most important niyam, NIYAM, rule, discipline is that you do not hurt anyone, that you should not hurt anyone. That's all. And behind that is the underlying conviction that you want to be in the 5 agnas of the Gnani Purush Dadashri. That is all. You see, there should be whatever law and discipline arises in your unfolding karma naturally is best. That is all. Jai Sachidan Pujyashri, Rajesh Matolia, in Hindi. In this, what is this so special about this Parayan activity that people have come from all over the world? They come here. And for 7 to 8 days, they attend this Parayan. You have one cause that, whales break in Parayan. But I feel that there is some very special energy that it brings it here. There is a very special energy that, will you please open it up? No, this is where everybody attains Gnan. They get experience of the Gnan. And this is the connection for moksha. You see, this is they get the keys to moksha. Only those who are desirous for liberation come here, and these are the blessings of Dadashri are present here. Or whoever comes here, all their obstructions are removed to come here. You see, and when I see file 1, I feel as if I feel like I'm applying. without negotiations. Because everyone from file 1, file 2, file 3 have agreed that I should go to file to come. He said, then finally you can just come and live here, you see. It's because you have the experience of knowledge of this Gnan, you see. After 8 days, the blessings of, then we understand the greatness of Dada Shri, Gnani Purush Dadashri. What an amazing human being, you see. We can understand his fantastic, phenomenal magnitude. And so by listening to his words, automatically so many things change. Where on your own you try to do so much Purusharth, but by being here, automatically it happens. So this is such a magnificent things that you attain through grace here. And your life changes completely, and your vision towards life changes completely. So this is very magnificent. And so once you have this here, then you will not let go of it the second time. And so through this Gnan, his worldly interaction improves so much that even all his obstructions in worldly interactions also go away. So and his obstructions towards money also go away. His obstructions towards satsang also go away. So this is very magnificent. You have given such beautiful examples to the Pujya Deepakbhai, and you give such beautiful examples. There's the example of the sofa, the stage, or all these various vegetables in the market, etc. Yes. Okay, and this is the grace of the Bhagwan, Gnani Purush Dadashri, that this is happening. Jai Sachidanand. Next one. Jai Sachidanand, Deepakbhai. I have the second question that I have said. Rashmi is my name. I have the severe habit of TV. Shall I consider it as a fill stock, or it is a habit that is not going away? It is my weakness. What is the page of Shuddh Upyog on page 1? Page 1, 261. Read Aptavani 12, Shuddh Upyog chapter, Aptavani page 261. Read page 261 of Dada. It is written that, what should I do with you? What kind of will come? Just while you watch your games, when you play cards, Dada Shri says, it will come. There will be a veil over your vision. Darshanavaran will come. Gnanavaran will come. The veils over your Gnan will come. If you are not in a hurry to go to moksha, then it's okay. Then watch TV. And if you're not in a hurry to go, then and it will say, but you see, over here, if you will increase 50 more lifetimes, you see, so it will bring, watching TV and playing cards will bring veils over you. By watching TV, what are you going to gain after watching TV? The chit gets spoiled. I cannot do the charan. I cannot remain. Tell me, what is the benefit you got out of? What benefit you gain by watching TV? Because everywhere there is violence only. Everywhere there is politics only. Everything there is negativity only. But the simplest thing is, why don't you disconnect the TV and throw the TV out? But my sons do not allow me to do it. I keep the TV for the sons. Yeah, I hate the TV. But yes, page 162, Aptavani 12, you see, on the chapter on Shuddha Upyog, read the book, you see. Watching TV, I will spoil my eyes, my brain will guts of my life, because I have to make the strong decision that I do not want to do that, you see. Even if I tell her that there's danger, she says, oh, then she will say, I will go to moksha after 150 lifetimes. She is so addicted to television. How many hours do you watch the TV? 3 hours. 3. Why don't you just watch Niruma's VCD for 3 hours? If you watch 3 hours TV, then you'll have to watch Niruma's VCD for 3 hours. No, I have another question. What Mareshu Leva Deva? How does it affect me? What am I? What do I care? But Deepakbhai did not answer. Next question. To observe the Prakruti closely, Nirikshan, and to see the Prakruti and to know and see the Prakruti, is it one and the same thing? They are all one and the same. By keep it separate is the most important. By keeping it separate, that means you are saying it. Nirikshan means to know it. To know means to nirikshan. You see, you're knowing it. First, if you keep it separate, then when you see it closely, then you know how it is and how it deals, what is it they do during eating, How does it talk with other people? The more nirikshan do you do of the Prakruti, the more keeping it separate and understanding how it does, then that is called knowing it. And later on you will get to know it, orkhashe, you will get to recognize it, and then you will remain sahaj with it, natural with it, and then you will become the pure knower of, seer of it, gnata drashta of it. So these are all stages. First keep it separate, then see it, and then you will know it, and then you will realize it, and then you will be the knower seer of it, and then you will be sahaj. Or this Jyoti Patel and Amit at ATPL. And Gaurav Prajapati, Kokila Patel Adalaj. Vandana Parmar, what lot of questions. Jai Sachidanand Deepakbhai, Vadodariya Gita. I got my answer. Very good. Kanak Udav, Asha Mehta, Latya Rekha Surat, Kokila Patel, Pujyashree Jai Sachidanand. It has been written there. I have written the question. How can I see the Prakruti as it is? What do you want to ask? When there are very close files, when very close Mahatma, I can see their mistakes. So that other person is seeing my mistakes too. If we share our mistakes, he sees my mistakes and I see her mistakes, and if we exchange each other's mistakes, then no, don't share your, don't, no, you can't wash it off. No. They will insult you each other. No, if I write down how I feel about my friend, can I give it to them? Yeah, don't you think? Yes, don't you this? Husband and wife, husband and wife agreed to do this. You see, but one day the wife, one day the wife told him his faults, and he agreed, and he started saying his faults. But one day he told her his faults. For an hour and a half, she really scolded him so much. And so then he says, I made a nishya that I will never show her mistakes to him. So you never show anybody's mistakes to anybody, especially to file 1 or file 2. You don't to file 2, because okay, do not point out the mistakes of file 1 to file 2, of correction of file 2 to file 2. You see, do not show the mistakes of the wife to the wife. Otherwise, she will not leave you alone. Her reactions will be so vast and heavy that you see. You see, people are like mirrors. They will immediately tell you how it is, how you are. But if they tell you that, then you have to accept it. Talk to 501. He says, look, they're telling negative things about you, so investigate and wash it off. But do not try to discuss between each other. Next one. Kanakpai Wadav. For all the activities that you are involved in, my million namaskars to you. Let us take the next question. Let's take the question 2. Page 47. There are so many different kinds of Prakruti. Okay, so if somebody asks me, well, show me God, then I reply, says Dada, that if you take away the Prakruti, then what is left is God. Okay, Prakruti. So, what it means? Means if he gets rid of his Prakruti Swabhav, the Prakruti nature, then he will realize God. In other words, he becomes free from Prakruti, then he will become God. He will become the self, the Purush, the soul, the absolute soul, etc. That which can be cut away, that is called Prakruti Swabhav. You see, But you see, when he is stealing, he says, I am stealing. When he is giving to charity, he says, I am giving to charity. You see, the one who is giving to charity, he is doing something good. One who is stealing is doing something bad. But they are called Prakruti Swabhav, the nature of the Prakruti. You see? And if he can become free from all of this Prakriti Swabhav, then one is indeed a god. Gold is gold only, but it is a jewel, it's a sofa. One is a sofa set, but he says, I'm on the stage, therefore I am the stage, I am helping others, etc. I am doing the satsang. You see, the chair believes that I am doing the satsang. He does not, the chair does not realize that Deepakbhai is doing the satsang. It arises out of ignorance, but when it realizes, when it's kicked out and after away from the stage, then it realizes, no, I am just the chair only. I wasn't doing the satsang. That other man on the stage is doing the satsang. While one's Prakruti is very egoistic and very full of pride only, then make him do pratikraman, that is all. Or keep it separate. The pride, it is the ego, is the pride of the ego, and the ego belongs to the Prakruti only. It is the ego of the Prakruti, it is not my ego. It doesn't belong to me. I am not the one who is proud. I am aware of the one who is proud. That is the first neighbor who is proud. The file one is proud. Next one. Again and again it is said that when tap comes, then the bliss goes away. What is tap? Is tap from the past life? No. The tap is a purusharth. What happens? The junk is last lives, but tap is a purusharth. It is the energy of the self. You see, whatever knowledge you arrive that I am pure soul. I am not this lady. I am not Asha. If somebody accuses Asha that you did this, you did that, you messed it up, then you remain separate from Asha is called tap. It is the penance. There is the pratiti, there is the conviction, then there is the vision that I am pure soul, and to apply the pratiti and darshan, the conviction and the vision of I am, at that time there is penance, and then it will lead to the experience that I am not this body, I am not Marcia, I am not Thais, I am not Eunice, but I am the pure soul, and that is the experience, you see. So the the penance is a necessary step to move in the direction, the experience of the pure soul. The next one. Then Priti Soni and Shobna Patel. Let us now take the matters of Samayik now. In Samayik, there is the talk came in the alcohol and meat and sexual affairs, having sex in extramarital affairs. This is the biggest thing, extramarital affairs. This biggest mistakes are the misuse of authority and abuse of authority, and then and then there is greed. Then the greed is to make money through devious means, and the third one is in the fault of sexuality. You see, in those days there was no brahmacharya. In the time of Lord Parshvanath, the Tirthankar before Lord Mahavrat, before Lord Mahavir, and so when Lord Mahavir came 2600 years ago, he gave the agna of brahmacharya, to be free from unnecessary and excessive sexuality, because wherever your vision spoils, then you will have to come back to, if your vision spoils in matters of sex, then the effect will come. Then you will have to spend one life with that person. Through this mistakes of sexuality in ignorance, and the karma is bound, and therefore the effect will come. And then because of sex, we come into relationship with human beings. Then they see, it's, in other words, it's just a small seed, but you end up with a huge family, a woman, another woman, a divorced woman, a second marriage, third marriage, all the sorts of things, all sorts of, so all kinds of problems arise because of it. So brahmacharya means absolute continence of sexual impulses, and lack of brahmacharya is sexuality where there is leakage, and therefore there is this desire for sexual gratification which is beyond that which is necessary and has become excessive. So yes, the world has given The world says that sex is good, sex is pleasant, sex is okay, sex is hygienic, sex is natural, etc. However, in matters of liberation, it is the other way around. And in Kusang, in the wrong company, they continue to encourage sexuality only. And they also encourage sexuality in parties, etc. However, everywhere sexuality is rampant and its ravages are rampant. Initially, it used to be in control. It used to be confined to only one man, one woman. However, it has gone beyond. Even teenagers are involved in sexuality freely and all over, and they continue to, and they give it the highest. They consider it as the highest form of pleasure and a right of theirs, regardless of whether they are married or not. And right now, we know if you are married, then you should be confined to your partner only. And if you're not married, then 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 if you're not married, then also get married to somebody that you're attracted to, and then just then confine your vision only to her only and nobody else only. But your vision must not get spoiled at all. Which is that which gets spoiled, and it is the Kali Yuga, the current era of the time cycle is such that it will continue to add fuel and fire to of sexuality only. And if you try it in offices and colleges and everywhere else, this you become the center of attraction as far as sexuality is concerned. And everywhere sex is being freely shared, you see. People make you enter into sexuality by stroking your ego of pride and complimenting you and saying you're very beautiful, etc. And if you can become free from sexuality, then you will become worthy of going to the fourth era of the time cycle, which is Mahavidya Kshetra. The nature of sexual impulse is such that it is like a living fire, and the more you enter on it, the more it burns you, and therefore it will end up being like an animal. Therefore, in your desire to kind of cut down your hunger for sexuality, you go to no ends, and then it will bring you into the environment of kusang. Kusang means that which takes you away from the company of the self as capital, and makes you away. And we have very beautiful two books of Brahmacharya. Deepakbhai is talking about two Mahatmas who are on the path of liberation, by the way. And so the first volume is for those who are not married, and the second volume is for those who are married. And how, and what is the connection of sexuality with kashais and ongoing discomfort and kashais between closely living couples, whether it's husband and wife, you see. And yes, even if there is a sexual demand, if you're married, then try to settle the file with equanimity, instead of rejecting the other person. But there must not be a sexual look or a sexual thought outside the confines of your own wife or your own husband, or that which is legitimately yours, because this is the biggest fault. You see, if the sexual thought arises within you, then you should wash it off with pratikraman, you see, and to see the other person as a pure soul and asking for the purest energies from that person to make you free from the sexual impulses that you're having for her or for him. So there is Vishay means sexuality, and Kashai means that anger, pride, deceit, and greed. And these two are mutually feeding each other. They tend to kind of perpetuate each other, and no matter how much pratikraman and pratyakyan you do, the fault of sexuality is a fault that is very difficult. It's a hard one, but it arises in the Prakruti because it has been created in the past life in the Prakruti. But we need to get rid of the granthi, the knot of sexuality. And if we can become free from the knot of sexuality and kashais, then we will become like Gnani Purush Dadashri, you see, and we can become absolutely free like him. And for that, we need to be very aware about the mistakes of sexuality. When kashais arise, we know it immediately. But when sexual mistakes arise and when sexual impulses arise, it is so dangerous that it can be, due to lack of awareness, a seed gets sown, and then you are in trouble, you see. So the seed must not be sown. So through the sexual look, through the sexual innuendos, through the sexual talk, etc., all of this happens. And for that, and you see, so it is very important. So then, so you might not even, so for sexuality, make sure that you You are in big danger if you have any kind of mistakes with sexuality with anyone. So you need to really, through desires, then the imaginations, through gestures, or through overt approaches, all of these are mistakes, and therefore you become free from it. But forget about moksha. But again and again you will have to wander in life, relative life only. Sex is such a mistake that it will make you wander in life, live alone, attain liberation. Therefore, having attained such a beautiful Vignan, the science, and having attained the bliss of the self, if the slightest desire for sex arises, or inkling this arises, then let us, so that then tackle it with the awakened awareness and the bliss of the self. So we want to really see all the sexual mistakes from childhood up until now. If you have touched somebody, or if you have done something overtly, whether you have actually has suffered, you've enjoyed sexual sex with others, then for that you need to have an open alochana with and there are certain ways in which you can have an open confession, you see. And so, because if you have had illicit sexual affairs, then you need to have a writing in personal, and you can tell somebody, because these are things that have happened that you cannot tell anyone, because this is wrong. You cannot tell that to anyone. Therefore, you need to really. And Dada has given a special technique. You can write it down, and then you can just wash away these mistakes. You see, so that you can wash it off completely. That is a different thing. But today, Samayik, you can do something that if sexual thoughts arise, the sexual vision arises, or where sexual activity has arisen that is not rightful, or not that is hurtful, then you really need every shibir. We always have a Samayik on sexuality and sexual. Um, so this is very important. There's the Dada, in presence of Dada, they said this is a very big fault of human beings of this current era of the time cycle. And if you can become free from sexuality, then tremendous inner energies of the soul will arise. Let us do the vidhi on this. O Dada Bhagwan, the absolute self within me. Hey Shri Simandar Swami Prabhu, the perfect Lord at Mahavidya Kshetra, the fully enlightened one, with the exact applied awareness of the pure soul, Suddhupyog, from childhood until this particular time, whatever sexual mistakes have happened, desires, gestures, or sexual thoughts have happened, mistakes have happened, or touch type mistakes have happened, sexual touch, of any kind of sex and sexual related mistakes have happened. Let me see them in Samayik, my Lord, through the awareness of the separation that I am the blissful one. Let me see the sexual mistakes and grant me the energy to see these sexual mistakes, my Lord. Let me remain in the perfect separation of the self. Let me make file 1 be remorseful about these mistakes. Let file 1 do pratyakyan, and let grant me the energy to do such a Samayik, my Lord. I surrender this mind, speech and body, all illusions associated with my name, bhav karma, charge karma, dravya karma, subtle discharge karma, yellow glasses, no karma, gross discharging karma. Oh Dada Bhagwan, the absolute self within me, you are the manifest absolute self within me, you are the Lord God within me, and it is at your divine feet, Sucharan, I am surrendering them all. I'm doing the total surrender. I am Shuddhatma Chu, 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 Dhatma Chu, Shuddhatma Chu, Shuddhatma Chu, Shuddhatma Chu. Eu sou alma pura, 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 eu sou alma pura. Ich bin reine Seele, ich bin reine Seele, ich bin reine Seele, ich bin reine Seele, ich bin reine Seele. Vishuddhatma chu, 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 Vishuddhatma. Jai Sachidanand, Jai Sachidanand. See the other person as a pure soul, and see the relative vision with three vision, and which when and with that Shuddhatma, be very repentant and say, and go deep into it, and this is very, very necessary. And even if you do 10 or 15 minutes daily of this, then this is important. It is worth washing it off. This is Kasha is separate and Visha is separate, Apply 10-15 minutes of sexuality and 10-15 minutes of Kashai Samayiks. Very Sachidanand.